In the year 1834, brothers India, Lamech, and Kilbasa moved to Olympia, Washington, and began brewing beer. Taking their initials, they named their brewery Ilk Brewing. I have no clue if that's the true story or not. I bet it's not. But I believe this is my very first Ilk beer, and that is their Remain in the Dark, which I shall regarding their roots. It is a black lager by Ilk Beer out of Olympia, Washington. Well, hey, and welcome to another episode of Tuning the Brew. I'm Matthew, again, as always, as nearly always. No, I am always Matthew. I am not always the only person in front of the camera in these videos, but I'm usually. The odds are in your favor when it comes to me being in front of the camera on this channel. Let's just put it that way. So, I don't know that I have had an Ilk beer before. It is a local to me brewery, Olympia, Washington, as written right there on the label. This is a 4.8% black lager. I enjoy dark lagers, typically when you think of a lager, especially here in America. And frankly, I don't hear too much about dark lagers elsewhere in the world either. So yeah, when you think about a lager, you typically think about an amber or lighter, a beer that is colored amber or lighter. This is definitely darker than amber, so that's dark. It is a black lager. It's maybe the color of maple syrup, so let's call it a dark brown lager. Typically that is going to be produced by the use of darker malts, so more roasty character. But of course, as I commented previously, in my experience, lagers tend to smooth out and round out a lot of the flavors involved here. So there may be a smokiness, but I'm not expecting like a darkly toasted grain astringency. But, you know, there's variation. In any style, there's variation. And in fact, when I smell this, there's a very nice roasted character to it. Not really smoky. I could say it may be as though I smelled our local smokehouse maybe a few miles down the road. So yeah, actually, no, I take that back. There is a smokiness to this, but it's pretty mild. I think together with that smokiness, my mind wants to tell me there's a bit of a meaty quality to it as well, but I think that's probably just the smoke involved. There's a hint of somewhere between maple syrup and cocoa. I say words, and then all of a sudden I'm being suggestible. But in general, it smells cool, fresh out of the fridge. It smells slightly smoky. It smells other kind of dark, slightly sweet characters. Yeah, and as it warms, I think the smokiness is going to come out a lot more, is going to be a lot more present as it warms up. It smells good. Let's give it a drink. Okay, yeah, that's a good beer. So definitely smoky. This isn't quite the smoked rye lager by Headless Mumby. May she rest in peace. But there is a definite distinctive level of smokiness to it. And in fact, there's different layers of smokiness. Like even the bitterness that's involved that I'm presuming is from the hops has a smoky quality to it. I like that. They really use smoke as a significant part of the flavors they're developing here. It remains very drinkable, like lagers tend to be. I'm not sure that I would describe it as smooth. It definitely has this nice, moderate sweetness, but it's a bread sweetness rather than a syrup or candy sweetness. And I do wonder what grains they used in this, because it does actually remind me a good deal of that smoked rye lager, which I really miss. No, I don't think it has the spiciness that rye typically brings, that little bit of savory bite. Instead, the smoke character that is quite present, like it becomes more and more noticeable every sniff I make and every sip I take. Adds this kind of nice, meaty, not bright, but very present. I hesitate to say strong because it doesn't feel strong, but it is a significant aspect of the flavor of this beer, and it plays really nicely. And so then you have this smokiness that's kind of present from the beginning, and then just keeps going. It's still lingering in my mouth even now. That kind of back of the throat campfire. Hey, the smoke blew in my face, and now it's I inhaled it a little bit, and I don't know if you smoke cigarettes. This might be more familiar to you, but I've never smoked cigarettes. I do cigars and pipes, and I don't inhale those. So it feels like there's the smokiness is kind of coming back out now with the retro breathing, that is the breathing out. And I think it's probably just about gone now. So 30 seconds or so, that's quite a tail. So that smoke is present, is there from the beginning all the way to the end, and then past the end. And then you have this very nice, while the beer is still in your mouth, this mild, light, bready sweetness that's very pleasant. And yeah, it's a pretty simple beer. In my experience, lagers tend to be, and that's no knock on them. That's just how they are. And I like it. That's a tasty beer. That's a beer that I can definitely enjoy. I think the smokiness would make it stand up really nicely to any sort of dark foods, anything that's darkly roasted, that sort of stuff. I would just drink this straight because it's good, and I am going to drink this straight because I had lunch a few hours ago, and it's several hours yet until dinner. Yeah, I like that. That's a good beer. It's a very tasty beer. Anyways, I'm going to give this 3 stars. That is my new standard. That is out of 4. This is a good beer that I'm enjoying. So 3 stars. 3 stars out of 4. And yeah, this is me, Matthew. I have been drinking and enjoying Remain in the Dark. I believe it is my first by Ilk Brewing. And I will catch y'all on the flip side.